Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for Rain Zero Chapter 44. And okay, first off, I definitely need to talk a little bit about the pretty much cover page in this chapter because the cover page of this chapter is one of those things where I never thought I wanted to see Pino. I never thought I wanted to see Pino in kind of like a cheerleading outfit, but after this week's cover, it was just way too cute for me not to say that, yeah, this is suddenly a thing that I want to see in the actual story. It'll mostly just be for fan service, obviously, but yeah, just Pino wearing a cheerleader outfit is just super cute. And I don't throw around the term cute often, but yeah, it is adorably cute. I want to see Pino. I want to see Pino. I want to see Pino pretty much wearing a cheerleader outfit now at some point in the story. Like, it's just yeah, it's adorable. It's cute. I don't know what else to say about it. Um, but yeah, let's talk about the big reveal in this chapter, which is that Xiaomei, the character we were introduced to in previous arcs, is the fortune teller, is the fortune teller that our crew has, that the Eden Zero crew has been looking for. And the thing is, this is one of those reveals where Urmashima was being overly coy about it in the beginning of the chapter, so it was kind of obvious, but even before this chapter, I did kind of have that voice in the back of my head that was telling me that the Princess Xiaomei was going to be the fortune teller just from what we've seen seen of her previously, and specifically how Mashima was using her as a means to kind of break the fourth wall and give hints of things even before they happen. So yeah, just little bits and pieces of basically Xiaomei as a character. Those little bits and pieces of Xiaomei as a character, they were definitely enough in order to send off a lot of major red flags to me, and the prospect of a and when the prospect of a fortune teller was and so they set off a lot of red flags to me, but specifically like the nail in the coffin to me that kind of officially proved it to me. What was at the point where we even got this whole little plot point of basically finding a fortune teller. Like, it was at that point where I was like, I'm not sure if it's her or not, but I'm betting it's pretty much her. It's basically Xiaomei. So yeah, just from little hints and little story beats here and there that Majin was pushing, it made me think that yeah, that this specific character is gonna be the is gonna be the is gonna be the fortune teller. Um, now. Now, one thing, obviously, in this, one thing about this, about this reveal as well, about Zhao Mei being the fortune teller, is basically Zhao Mei herself. She basically reiterates that the Eden Zero crew is searching for basically her is trying to find her to begin with in order to find Valkyrie, and yeah, while I'm still sticking by my dragon theory when it comes to Valkyrie. With this reveal, I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to Moshman, the more and more he's addressing Valkyrie in the story, the more I'm thinking that again, while I'm sticking to my dragon theory with Valkyrie, it also gets me thinking that even Moshman is probably is setting something up that is probably that is gonna throw us for a loop. Even if my whole theory, even if my whole theory about Valkyrie of my theory about Valkyrie being pretty much stuck in Homura's sword is the case. Like, I still feel that even if Valkyrie being stuck in Homura's sword is the case, I still feel that Mashima is going to put a little bit of a twist on this in some way. Like, just something about how Mashima has been setting this pretty much whole has been setting this whole has been setting this whole thing of trying to find Valkyrie up. It does feel like he's definitely setting up where he's going to show us, he's going to give a bit of a twist on it for sure. Like like it's going to be a little more complicated than just pretty much finding her, obviously. Although what that is, again, like I'm not sure. Like I think for sure, one thing I know for sure is that finding Valkyrie is going to be connected to if it isn't a dragon thing where Valkyrie is trapped inside Homura's sword, then I think at the very least that Homura's sword is going to be connected to just the whole quest of finding Valkyrie to begin with. Honestly, um, and yeah, what more can and yeah, what more can I and again, just kind of going back to the Xiaomei thing for a bit, like it's one of those things where again, it really was kind of obvious just from how much that Xiaomei was like breaking the fourth wall on us, or that the Majin was just kind of breaking the fourth wall and teasing us with things even before they happened with her. So yeah, it all made sense. Now after that, we of course get a much, after the beginning with Xiaomei, we get a much funnier scene of the Eden Zero crew just putting Hermit's dress factory to the test, which, well, it was really just Majima's way of getting of working his fan service into the chapter. But again, this is kind of one of those things where I definitely gotta commend Majima for basically the way he's been handling the fan service in Eden Zero, because the thing about the way Majima was handling his fan service in Eden Zero, at least comparable to something like Fairy Tail, I think Majima, I gotta commend him for just trying to find new and creative ways in order to incorporate the fan service into the story, whereas with Fairy Tail, it felt like he was just doing it at random. And the funniest part for me with pretty much with this whole thing of Weiss trying to dress like Homura in a bunny suit and whatnot, and just him acting all pervy. Like the one thing that was like the funniest part is in the chapter when we get that lineup of the characters and their costumes, because and a lot of that is because of just how Weiss and the girls are dressed. Like the thing about that lineup for me is if you take Shiki completely out of that lineup, Weiss. If you take Shiki completely out of the lineup, then all you'll be left is Weiss and the girls. And in that situation, like if you look at it from that perspective, Weiss himself, Weiss with the girls, he looks like one of the most cartoonishly evil pimp characters imaginable. And yes, I said pimp. Like Weiss, like the way Weiss is dressed and the girls are dressed, it's like Weiss is the most cartoonish. Was dressed like the most cartoonish pimp ever, and the girls are like, and the girls are pretty much his bitches. Like seriously, it's just fun. It's so funny to see. It's just so cartoonishly, it's just so cartoonish in the way he and the girls are dressed, that it's like, oh my god, it's so bad, but it's so bad to think like this, but at the same time, I strangely find it so funny. It's so weird. It's so weird for me. And yeah, like I said, it doesn't help the fact that Weiss was acting like a freaking, as much of a perv as he was in the beginning. Like, holy crap. And yeah, I like how, and I like how Rebecca was holding Weiss, was holding her gun to Weiss's head at that point. That was like, yeah, that was hilarious. So, but yeah. Aside from that, we aside from the funny, after the funny bit, we pretty much also learn. One important factor we kind of learned from this chapter is that Xiaomei's is what a few of the technicalities of Xiaomei's divinations are in this chapter, and that with her divinations, apparently our crew is going to need to meet certain requirements in order to get their fortune told. And with Majima, he kind of played it up a little bit for last with the whole sign of the fact that our characters are the fact that our characters they needed to remove their shoes and footwear and whatnot, but so yeah, he kind of played it up as a joke with the whole footwear gag. But the fact that Pino mentioned that pretty much the ether that all the ether behind the door was abnormally dense, that in itself, it does tell me that Xiaomei's divinations are either an ether gear of some kind or just an ether power in general, and that in order for her to activate her power, there are certain requirements that definitely need to be met on part of the person or people who step into her like realm. So just from going off that, little tidbit, it sounded like Mushroom is kind of setting up where in order for the Eden Zero crew, in order to get their fortune told, it sounds like something is going to need to be traded, but we'll definitely have to wait and see. But just from the way Mushroom has set that up, yeah, it sounds like something is going to need to be traded for sure. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and it was to Crunchyroll. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.